Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Thursday. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Oy, 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 oy. It's a thing this week, isn't it? Anyway, all right, there we go. Wasn't kidding. A little bit of something, whole lot of everything. Anyways, so I'm wearing this shirt because I'm hoping for some Disney magic to go down the street to the Honda Center or the pond and help my ducks out. Because it is game 6. Game 6 of the, playoffs. And I really, really want to win. Who doesn't, right? Anyways. All right, so I had so many ideas this morning, but I had trouble getting out of bed. So we're just going to Google and pull the cards, because Saturday at 1:01, I think they said p.m. Pacific time, so 4:01 Eastern will be, and I know it's still during the day, so you're really not going to be able to see it. But good morning, Muddy. Good morning, older sibling. It is going to be a super new moon. In Taurus. So we're going to, actually, I don't know why I'm shuffling. We're going to pull some of those cards because, and it's going to be a waxing moon. All right. So, I didn't realize that you could have a new moon, a super new moon in, I didn't know you could have a super new moon. I knew there were super full moons, but I didn't know you could have a super new moon. So I'm a little excited about this one. It is in Taurus, which is older siblings' sign. And super moon. So yeah, if watch yourself, because if you want to manifest, this is the time to do it. This is the time to do it, especially if it's a super new moon, right? Let's see. Sorry, of course, watch. It's the last card. Mutable moon, new moon in Taurus. There we go. I thought they would have a waxing moon, but they only have a waxing crescent moon, which I guess is kind of the same, because come next Monday, I think we'll already be at the waxing crescent moon. So, here's the thing. For those, I had a friend ask me last week, but the full moon and the new moon run in 3 cycles, okay? And there are other moon cycles, and we don't normally get into those because they're important if you really, really follow like the moon cycles and whatnot. But if you don't, the 2 main ones are the full moon and the new moon. And the full moon, as you know, so here's how it goes. When a moon is waxing, so starting from Saturday, you're going to have a new moon, right? And it's going to start waxing into a full, full moon. I know, Sammy, she's singing New Moon on Monday. Every time there's a new moon on Monday, which unfortunately is not this year, or this time around, I always put that song on. Always love Duran Duran. So, and I love that song. That's actually one of my favorite Duran Duran songs, New Moon on Monday. But anyways, so if you're going from a dark moon, which is the new moon, to a full moon, it's waxing. When the moon is full and it's starting to disappear into a new moon, which is again the dark moon, it's called waning. So when you go from a full moon to a new moon, that's the time to let stuff go. You can set intentions and manifestations. That's fine. Because the moon cycles are always going to work with you. But if you really want to let something go, that is the time to do it. If you want to make something happen or put your intention out there with, like I said, always use the term this or something better, because you never know, what is intended for you. So this or something better. And so that way you're not disappointed if you don't get exactly what you want. You get what is meant for you. So, anyways, when you're doing the new moon to the full moon, which is where we're at now, it's waxing. So that's when you set your intentions, your manifestations, and you set everything, and, you set your stuff. And I don't want to say it has a better chance, because I think on both ends of the moons, they have a better chance. But I think it's really when, because you want it to grow, and that's what it's doing. It's growing. So it's like planting that seed. Okay. But the new moon, you know, and it's a super new moon. So I don't even know what that means metaphysically. I meant to look it up, like I said. But moons also run in a 3-day cycle. So when you have a full moon, say the full moon is on the 30th. Okay, we're just guessing, all right, because it could be anywhere around there. Actually, Alexa, when is the next full moon?
The next full moon is on May 31st at 1:45 a.m.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Anyway. So there you go. So it's on the 31st. So technically, if you want to do rituals or whatever you want to do, you can start on the day before. You can start on the 30th. So it's a 3-day cycle. There's the day before, the day of, when the moon is at its fullest, and then the third day where, after that it's going to start waning. Okay, so right now, tomorrow will start the first day of the 3-day new moon cycle. So, and so if you want to set your intention, I know, I don't know why I'll say thank you, and it's just like, gotta wait. You're welcome. It's like, why do you take this so long? So anyways, I wanted to say we have a love-hate relationship right now because the voice used to be different. And I don't mind the perky voice, but I liked the other voice because it was just like, in the morning when you're asking what time it is or what the weather is, it's kind of like, la la la. It's like, oh my God, she's on coffee. I'm not ready for that yet. So it's just kind of like, I know, technology, but I'm grateful for it. So, but they changed it without my permission. So there you go. I got to go into my app and see if I can change the voice back, but that's the new voice. I know. Anyway, okay, so a super new moon is widely viewed in metaphysical spiritual traditions as an intensified new beginning, a moment when the usual new moon energy of renewal, intention setting, and inner transformation becomes even stronger because the moon is at perigee. It's closest to the earth. So that's why it's a super new moon, because the moon cycle is drawing it closer. That's why you get a super moon, right? A super moon doesn't mean that the moon worked out and, got bigger. It means it's just closer to the earth. So core metaphysical meanings, a new supermoon amplifies the classic new moon symbolism of rebirth, potential, and inner alignment, creating a powerful energetic window for setting intentions with great clarity and potency, releasing old patterns and emotional baggage that no longer serve you. Well, that's usually the full moon to the new moon. But hey, like I said, you can utilize it in either way. Deep introspection and connecting with subconscious desires or hidden truths. Manifestation, especially long-term goals rooted in authenticity and self-worth. Because the moon is physically closer to the earth, traditions interpret this as the moon's energetic pull being stronger, symbolically tugging at your emotions, intuition, and inner landscape. The chord's in the way, that's why I'm like. So a regular new moon represents new beginnings, potential growth, introspection, and inner work. A super new moon magnifies those qualities and is often described as a cosmic reset button, a time when intentions take root more quickly, a moment when suppressed emotions or shadow aspects rise to the surface for healing. So so for many traditions, so here's the divine feminine and intuition. Many spiritual traditions associate the moon with feminine energy, intuition, receptivity, and emotional wisdom. A super new moon is said to heighten inner knowing, psychic sensitivity, creative flow, and emotional clarity. So again, like it says, you can do your space clearing, you can do shadow work, you can do your meditations, you can do intention setting rituals. This is the time really for the intention setting rituals, but I guess because it's a super new moon, it takes on the characteristics of the full moon as well. So, and again, I may be wrong on all that. That's just the stuff that I was taught and I learned. But yeah, so let's go with this. So we have we'll do the new moon in Taurus last. We have the new moon, the super new moon, and the waxing crescent moon. Actually, we'll do that last. So, we'll do new moon. Oh, wait, that's a super moon. We don't want the super moon. Okay, so we have the new moon in Taurus, and then the waxing crescent. And I will show you all the pictures when we're done. So, for anybody who's still here but feels like, yeah, this ain't for me, please stay. Because, oracles are often misunderstood. And they're often associated with not good things. I only work from a good place, and oracles do too. Same with the tarot. The tarot only works from the place that the person is coming from. It's not the tarot deck, it's the person. So if a person is ill-intending, that's what you're going to get. Okay. Just as a note, and I've mentioned this before, so the girls on here already know, the death card doesn't mean you're going to die. Sometimes it might say you have a death in the family, and on that very rare occasion, is the word portend. I know I saw that one day and I was like, portend, and it was just like the greatest word. But it might, predict. Okay, I don't know. But it's such a rare case. The death card is generally the end of one cycle and the beginning of a new one. So kind of like, the death card could come up in a new moon because it's the end of the full moon cycle and we're starting a new one. Okay. And same with the devil card. People, oh, it's evil. That means you have demons. Maybe you do. I mean, if you have a bunch of paranormal people coming over to your house because you got problems and they have a tarot deck and they pull that card, you might have a problem. All right. But in general terms, if you walk into some shop and, do your homework, because some people, not all psychics or tarot readers or card readers or palm readers are legit. Okay. So be careful with the information you give them. Don't just say, oh, well, you have this. Oh yeah, no. Don't give them everything, because there are some people who are manipulative and con artists who can use that. Now, that being said, there are a lot of good, wholesome psychics and mediums who are just there because they have a gift, and yes, they charge for it. Okay. A doctor's not going to give you his gift for free unless he works in that kind of a clinic. Okay. But if you go to a hospital, you're still paying your doctor, right? Even if it's through the insurance company, but he has a gift. She has a gift. All the nurses have gifts. So, but they still charge for it in most cases. All right. So 99.9% of the time. So, but it's the same idea. So, when people say, well, why are you paying, because they have a gift and this is how they make their money. So everybody's got to make a living. All right. If they gouge you, I don't necessarily like that. But, there was one person that, someone I knew that went to, and it was like $500 a session, and that person got nothing right. And this person was a famous psychic. So, it's just kind of like, but we've seen other people who are just as good as her, maybe charge a little bit less. And a lot of times they'll do that because they can only take so many people at a time. But if you call them, a lot of times they will work with you. So, just keep that in mind. But not all psychics are the bad guy. You can't lump everybody into the same barrel because of that one bad apple. Just remove the bad apple and the rest are all right. All right. So I just wanted to get that out there. I don't know why. I don't know where that came from, but I feel like maybe someone out there that might be watching this later might be going, I don't know. And, so, and check their, if you're going to do it online, check their ratings. Okay. Because, a lot of people, are really good at that. So, they're really good at what they do. So don't just jump right in feet first, but, do your homework. Okay. And just be careful of the shysters out there. But also, I will say this, if you go in and you're trying to trip up a genuine psychic, a lot of times it's the mediums, especially, they're just tapping in with their guide. So if you're going to hide stuff or try to hide stuff or try to trick them or do whatever, you're probably not going to get a very accurate reading. Okay. So, and if you go in desperate, you're also putting out the wrong energy. So just kind of go in curious. Okay. Just go in curious. All right. So the new moon, ta-da! A new start is coming. Woo, a new start is coming. There is a yes coming your way. Ooh, who doesn't like that? This is one of the most auspicious cards in the deck. It's totally positive and suggests something new and exciting is developing. The situation you're asking about is blessed and you are on target to achieve your goals. The message from the universe is that you're starting all over again in some way, be that on a new or better course or just feeling more positive about achieving your desired outcome. If you've been feeling stagnant, this card reminds you of a life that goes in cycles and you're moving into a new cycle now. This is the time to wipe the slate clean. If the situation you asked about has become toxic, either that will clear up now or something totally new and fresh is on its way. That's exciting. Attune to the moon. So this is your affirmation. I'll see it when I believe it. And that's true. And you know, it's funny that this was the card for today. I mean, we were already going to pull it, and we talked about this yesterday on the show. But this morning I was like, you know, when I'm trying to manifest stuff, older sibling and I, it's like, I'm the problem. Because I don't have enough faith and trust. And I'm always trying to put it on her. And it's not her, it's me. And so, because, you know, trusting and believing equals faith. That's the simplest word you can use. You have to have faith because that's trusting and believing. And God, it's so hard. It's so hard. Why is it so hard? Sometimes I feel like a control freak. I think I used to be. And I'm kind of like a recovering control freak. I'm a recovering control freak. Because, you know, I mean, the stuff I've been through in my life, I needed to control a lot of my life. And I guess really I didn't, but I did. I thought I needed to, and I guess I didn't. So anyways, additional meaning. So be careful with that, okay? You know, if you're trying to manifest and stuff and you're not understanding why it's not happening, just trust and believe, okay? Remember, have faith. Have faith in what you're asking for and the intentions that you're setting. So additional meanings for this card. A new start is on its way. You will soon start to feel more hopeful about getting what you want. Your belief that your dreams can manifest is working well. Forget about the past. That is so weird. I have to tell you guys, just on a side note. So last night, I had a dream about my ex-boyfriend, the last one I dated like a bazillion years ago. And it was so weird, right? Because it's like every so often he pops in my dream when I'm ready to just kind of move on. And it's just like, and I was just like, I broke up with him in my dream. You know, and that's the second time in a row. Usually when I have that dream, it's like, you know, we're running around like we used to be together a billion years ago. And it's just like, and I always thought, no, because I'm just, you know, that relationship's gone. It's in the past, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, well, you know, I've learned all the lessons I needed to learn from it. And the last two dreams I've had, it's like, nope, I'm sorry, we're done. You know, it's just, so I feel like I'm validated. Forget about the past. The teaching, the new moon marks the start of the waxing cycle. Told you. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I haven't even had caffeine yet because I have to get a blood test this morning. My, you know, my usual labs, because I'm of age. The new moon marks the start of the waxing cycle and the midpoint of the dark moon. It's a dark and veiled time when the moon is invisible and a time of rebirth. It's a time that witches do their work, making wishes and laying down intentions for the new cycle. An intensely magical time when it's easier to pierce the veil to the other worlds. Ooh, that makes sense. And don't worry if you hear the word witches. Okay, you can set your intentions. If that freaks you out, you are not a witch. And there's nothing wrong with witches. Bitches. Ooh, I'm saucy today, aren't I? So yeah, a new start is coming. So have faith. And I am so sorry. I'm wearing a bra I don't wear normally, and it's itchy. I'm so sorry. Oh, well, you know, when you get to a certain age, you just stop caring. So, or not stop caring, you just don't care what other people think. So anyways, there you go. Your thrills for the day. Man, what is happening to me today? What is wrong with me? Crikey. Anyway, so yeah, a new start is coming, all right? So again, have faith, all right? Trust and believe, have faith. So here's your one. At the end of this, I'm going to shuffle and pull a third card, okay? Because something's telling me to do so that will probably bring all this together for somebody. But anyways, the new moon in Taurus. So tomorrow's older sibling's birthday. I will not be doing a show tomorrow or Monday because we're going fishing Monday and I'll be on the water during the time of my show. So anyways, new one in Taurus. So yeah, tomorrow's older sibling's birthday. And if you could send her some good vibes, you know, she's not struggling with this birthday because of age. I'm sorry, older sibling. It just kind of came out of my mouth. It's a bit of a struggle, this one, because she's about to turn the same age her mom was when she passed. And I don't think that older siblings worried about herself passing. I think it was just like, you know, I lost my mom when my mom was 64. I was 42. You know, older sibling wasn't much older than I was when she lost her mom. So I think a lot of it was just, you're sitting there and you're like, whoa. And it's like, wow, and I think it's just the memories sit a lot heavier because, it is that age. And you think of how much more that parent could have done or might have been. For my dad, it was like a competition because my grandfather died of a heart attack. Well, he had heart problems anyways, but he ended up dying of a stroke. And my dad was just like, I gotta live past this because, and I mean, my dad, I told you guys about my grandparents, not the greatest people on the planet. So my dad was just like, oh yeah, well, I passed you. But with older sibling, I get it because her and her mom were close, and it's tough. So I think maybe it was meant to mention that, not because to make her look silly, because it's not. But I think there's a lot of people that go through this, and I have a ways to go before I know what that feels like. Okay, because my dad's still alive, thank goodness. But my mom passed when she was 64. So, and I still think about that, right? Because I know people who are older than my mom was when she passed. And it's just kind of like, she had so much left to do, and then cancer just upended her and took her out. So, I did that yesterday. I told my doctor, because I do get a blood test taken in my labs to make sure my pancreas is running okay, because I don't want that young. I already got a heart to worry about. I don't need to worry about that. But I told her, I said, I'm so irreverent. And she's like, what happened? I said, when we were talking about the pancreas thing, the first thing I thought is, yeah, I want to make sure I don't get the cancer that took my mom out. So she's like, it's okay. Say it how you want. But it's the truth. And my mom would get it. Well, maybe. My mom my parents don't understand my sarcasm. Anyways, sorry. Like I said, a little bit of something, whole lot of everything. I don't know. I'm very perky today. I don't know what's happening to me. I don't know. Like I said, I'm wearing all this stuff. The reason I'm wearing this very uncomfortable bra is because it's orange. My team is orange. So it's just kind of like, please. So anyways, but yeah. Oh yeah. So I don't know if you can see the comments, older sibling, but Muddy said happy early birthday. But yeah, so, if you can throw them good, if you can throw older sibling goodbye or good vibes and even happy birthday in here or anywhere you might see this. So, I think she would appreciate that, but I do get it. I do understand to some degree. I mean, I can't understand where she's coming from on that level. 'Cause like I said, I have a ways before I get there, and I don't mean it like that. I just mean, I'm only 53 and my mom was 64. So I still have at least a decade and a year to go before I'm really faced with this, wow, I'm the age my mom was when she died. And I think that's what it is. I'm the age my mom was when she died. And we talked about this yesterday, and I asked her, I said, is it because you're worried? And she's like, no, it's just, and then she said it. My mom had so much more in life, blah, blah, blah. And there were a lot of underlying things. There were a lot of underlying things. And I'll be honest, I was a little more privy to it than older sibling was, because older sibling and her mom, they did not want to talk to each other about things or tell them, because I don't want to worry her. So, the middleman. So anyways, okay. All right, older sibling. This one is for you, and I think you will like it because it is the new moon in Taurus. Prosperity lies ahead. All right, go buy your lotto ticket today. All right, so there you go. Go buy a Mega Millions, because that'll draw tomorrow on your birthday. So there you go. Put that cash out there and go win the lotto. So let's see. New moon in Libra, Virgo, Leo, Cancer, Gemini, Taurus. All right. This card will often come up when you're inquiring about a financial matter or when you're doubting your self-worth. Aww. Does that feel like it fits? You know who I'm talking to. You're doubting your self-worth. The card suggests you can have what you want, including material things, but you must believe in yourself. Oh, I may have to put those fingers back on me too. Because anyway, this comes down to the laws of attraction. Value yourself and others will value you too. You can create abundance. Taurus is associated with luxurious Venus, and this card holds the new moon energy. So now is a good time to also make a 12-month financial plan. This card can also signal the start of a new relationship, or of sexier times. Wow, wow, chicka, wow. I know, I'm telling you, I am drug free and I am caffeine free. I do not know where this is coming from. Maybe it's the shirt. right? Because it's Disneyland. I just see Disneyland and I get excited. So I'm like a big kid. So again, it could start the signal of a new relationship or of sexier times. See, I just can't do that with a straight face. I'm trying. Oh my God, I'm a fucking kid. Seriously. If you've been wrestling with something for a long time, the new moon is sturdy Taurus. The new moon in sturdy Taurus is a sign not to give up just yet. I'm sorry, sibling. This is your card and I'm just stumbling all over it. Well, let's try that again with a straight face. This card can also signal the start of a new relationship or of sexier times. Sorry. If you've been wrestling with something for a long time, the new moon in sturdy Taurus is a sign not to give up just yet. So, attune to the moon. Get or give a massage. Healthy body, healthy mind. Ooh. Sorry, I know. What is happening to me? Oh my God. Oh, older sibling says, it's because you're home. Yeah, but I've been home for like every show this week, and this today is just kind of like, I don't know what's happening to me, but I am happy being home, even though my cat, she only slept with me one night. She's ignoring me like the plague, but I don't blame her. I don't blame her. She probably just like, you know what? I can't get attached to you every time you come home because then you leave again. So I know. So again, additional meanings for this card. You will soon be able to afford the thing you're dreaming of. Getting clear on what you value most will help you find peace. Take some time out to pamper yourself and start a standing order to a savings account, no matter how small. The teaching. We often feel that it's somehow wrong to focus on our finances, but the truth is that money can make life far more comfortable from a physical point of view. Taurus knows this, and the new moon in Taurus is the time to work your magic to create the money you want so you can have the creature comforts you want. Remember, though, that someone else is still wishing for what you already have. That's true. You know, oh yeah, Sammy says, and you're looking forward to the birthday celebration weekend. Sure. I get excited about other people's birthdays, you know, not just mine. I love when people have birthdays. I love birthdays. I personally think that birthdays should be a national holiday for people. You know, I think some companies that are willing to do it should give the person their day off paid. But that's just me. I always took a vacation day on my birthday. But, and celebrated it like, you know, Queen of the World. So, but yeah, I'm excited about her birthday. So anyway, so that's the Taurus. Okay. So there you go. If you trust and believe, you know, here you go. Have faith in your dreams. Faith. What were we just talking about? Have faith in your dreams. So when you have faith and you believe, a new start can come and prosperity will lie ahead. And I like this last part too, where, you know, they always talk about, well, money is the root of all evil. Money is not the root of all evil. Okay. People are the root of all evil. Money is just sitting there. Okay. If money was the root of all evil, that person who needed $1 to pay for that extra loaf of bread is not going to be, you know, turning evil because they needed that dollar. No. And I see where it comes from because, you know, yes, we have to work to get money and then we have to have money to pay for stuff. But I think it's people that make it bad. People make money bad, you know? So, I mean, if you have it, you know, enjoy it. Don't be ashamed of it. All right. Especially if you're doing good things with it or, you know, just, you know, which gives you the amount of, affords you the time to do the things you want to do for, even if it's for other people. Right. You know, so, you know, just remove that stigma from it. But also remember, you can give back if you have that prosperity. You are able to give back, whether it's of your time, of yourself, well, of yourself is your time, or financially. So, you know, there are things you can do with it if you have an abundance of money. So, just, you know, try to look at it that way, okay? Because I do understand why they say that, because yeah, it's like, you know, why is this person scrimping and saving for $1 to get that loaf of bread? I don't know where loaf of bread is $1 anymore, because it's not, but you know what I'm saying. You know, that $5 extra to pay for that extra thing, you know? There you go. It says, Muddy says, yep, technically it's the love of money that is the root of all evil. That says it perfectly. See, I told you guys I don't know the Bible. I went to Catholic school, okay? I grew up Catholic. I went to church twice a week for 8 years, but I don't know shit. I know Jesus is in the second half of the Bible, the New Testament. I know Moses was in the Old Testament, right? In the Garden of Eden and all that stuff. In the beginning. I know the beginning of the Bible. In the beginning. I don't even know if it says the end at the end of the Bible. All right. So, But I also don't pretend to know. Okay, so that's the difference between me and other people. So, but yeah, okay, thank you, Muddy, because Muddy would know. Technically, it's the love. The love of money is the root of all evil. So there you go. Appreciate your money. Be grateful for your money. Don't be Ebenezer Scrooge or Scrooge McDuck, because that is not going to work well for you. You're going to end up having 3 ghosts visit you in the middle of the night on Christmas Eve, and it's just not going to be pretty, right? So, you know, if you don't want that, then be gracious if you have extra, all right? Nobody's asking you to donate, 50% of what you have. They're asking you, sometimes for a little bit of your time, or, even $10 can make a difference. $5, $1. Every penny counts. All right. So anyways, I'm off my soapbox on that one. So remember, the love of money is the root of all evil. Thank you, Muddy. I feel better now. Okay. So here, the waxing crescent moon. So I wanted to do the waxing moon, but this is the only one I could find. And that is a really pretty picture. I'm seeing it in the reflection now on the video. And it's like, wow, the flowers are pretty. And there's a butterfly. Oh, and a bee. There's a bee. Look at that. Wow. Look at all that. There's 2 bees. Oh. Oh, it's so cute. All right. So the waxing crescent moon. I know you're all like, man, this show today. I have to say, I was seeing my doctor yesterday, and she's so cute. She's all, every time I see your show come through on my TikTok, I always give it a like just in case. She's so disappointed that more people don't see my show. And I was like, that's all right. I have a steady audience. They may be everybody I know, but I have a steady audience. It's okay, Been doing this for how long? So anyways, so is this called paying my dues? This should be called paying my dues, because I do have to wake up at a certain time, get ready before, and then I'm like a minute late to the show a lot because I just dawdle now, and I don't know what it is. Like, I have like perimenopause ADD. So I don't know. I know I'm not making fun of people with ADD. That's how it feels. Like, I have total brain fog. And, and my focus is like a squirrel now. So, I mean, even worse than it used to be before. I don't know what's happening. Anyways, maybe that's just life teaching me how to go with the flow. Yeah. So maybe if you have brain frog, whatever, or all those other things, maybe it's just your body saying, hey, you know what? You need to slow down, let go of control, and just start living your life magically. My friend sent me this. I just saw it, and I feel like someone wanted me to see it. You're a goddamn magical unicorn. That's right. I'm sorry about the word, but God's okay with that, because he's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. So anyways, have faith in your dreams. Don't give up. The situation you're asking about is still taking shape. You're nowhere near the end of your story. Whatever is happening now is just a step along the way. As they say in the self-help classics, everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. There you go. However, the waxing crescent moon card, is a reminder that you must still keep working towards whatever it is that you want. If you can't take practical steps, spend time meditating on the question you're asking about and allow yourself to download information to you about your best next step. Overall, this card suggests there is a reason to be hopeful for a very positive outcome to the situation you're asking about. So keep the faith. Muddy says brain fog. Brain fog is definitely a menopausal thing too. Perimenopause is a bitch. And I have to tell you, I used to think it was menopause. Didn't we do a show on this? Hey, can't remember. I think we did a show on menopause or perimenopause or something. I don't know. We should do another one. More of a soapbox edition. But I did learn something the other day from a Zoom call I was on. And for those of you out there who might be watching, who, menopause is when you haven't had your period in 1 year. So it's a 12-month cycle. Okay. It's not necessarily from January to December, but from the last time you had one to the following calendar year on that day. If you have not had one, that is menopause. So for 365 days of being periodless. Then postmenopause is day 366. But perimenopause can last for years. So menopause really is, I mean, yeah, it's kind of this year-long thing, but technically that's still perimenopause because, you know, it's not officially menopause. So menopause is like one day. Okay. I mean, poor menopause. It gets all the attention, but it really just shows up one time. Perimenopause is the bitch. Okay. She's the one. So yeah, Muddy said we did do a menopause show. Thank you. Thank you. I hope one day I do come out of brain fog, you know, and I don't know. Sometimes I think I use it as an excuse. But I should look back on the shows that I have done. I should make a list. But I mean, we do so many different things, and sometimes we recover the same subjects and blah, blah, blah. Oh, she says postmenopause can last for years too. It's hard being a girl. It's so hard being a girl. I know. But at least in menopause, we have alcohol. And I don't mean go out there and, you know, be bad about it. You know, don't become an alcoholic, please. And if you're recovering, please don't drink. Just find something else, you know. We can buy our own chocolate. How about that? We can buy our own chocolate. So I'll make it across the board for everybody. And if you don't like chocolate, we can buy our own whatever we crave. So, because we're adults now. And we don't have to ask for it. So anyways, all right. So again, overall, this card suggests that there's reason to be hopeful for a positive outcome. So attuned to the moon. I am focused on what I want. I am focused on what I want. And additional meanings for this card. Just because you can't see your dreams, it doesn't mean they're not manifesting. Don't look back. Stay focused on moving forwards. That was my mom's favorite saying. Don't look back. You're not going that way. Be patient as events unfold. Dig a little deeper to find more courage. Isn't that a song from The Princess and the Frog? Dig a little deeper. Anyway, sorry. The teaching. The waxing crescent moon is the second moon phase in the 8 main moon phases. But even if it's not the time of the waxing crescent moon, when you pull this card, it still suggests you need to really pursue your dreams. It's a time to put your foot down hard as you chase your goals. So there you go. Put your foot down hard as you chase your goals. I have been writing a book on, actually I've just been taking notes on postmenopause, or menopause, perimenopause, because I'm pretty sure that my peri-godmother, I told you guys this yesterday, is like a curler wearing chain smoking lady. And, you know, but oh, that was fast, wasn't it? But one of my very, very good friends told me that, one of the problems is that there are women who don't know the questions to ask when they go to their doctors. And a lot of times, unless you go to an OB or an OBGYN, you are not going to have an obstetrician doing your pap smear, okay, what we call it. And so a lot of times the GP will do it. You know, because no matter what kind of, you know, insurance you have, you usually generally need a referral to an OB. So, you know, a lot of times people just don't know the questions to ask. So here's the thing. Older sibling showed me a show yesterday, Off the Clock on KTLA. And you can download the KTLA Plus app. It is available on Google, or what is it, on Android and Apple. I sound like a commercial now. But they had Dr. A on yesterday. I can't remember her last name already because I kept calling her Dr. A. But she is, shoot, I left my book in the car, my other journal. I think it's shemd.com or shemdpodcast.com. But she talks about all the women stuff, like across the board. Okay, she has celebrity guests come on. She's like a celebrity OB. Okay, but the nice thing about this is, and I'm not saying it because she's a celebrity MD. Sometimes when you have a celebrity MD, it's good for the rest of us because, you know, they become well known. So they also do a lot more. You know, they look into a lot more and they try to provide something for everybody across the board, whether they see this woman or not. So because this is her passion, right? Her being a doctor is her passion, and you can tell. And being a female, well, not a female doctor because she is a woman, but a woman's doctor is her passion, and she loves to share everything she knows. So, and she's all, there's so many different things that women don't think to ask, you know, like symptoms of one thing may actually be something else. And then it gets misdiagnosed for years and years and years, or never diagnosed at all. So I thank older sibling for that. and check her out. Okay. Again, it's shehemd.com. I believe that's it. When I bring my journal back in the house later, I'll put it in the comments, or SheMD podcast. Okay. So I'm pretty sure that those were the ones. I'm sorry, off the top of my head, I can't remember, because I remember I wrote it down really fast. So anyways, our last card, that's interesting. Okay, I don't know who needs this, but full moon in Cancer, a personal issue reaches a resolution. A personal issue reaches a resolution. So full moon in Cancer. There we go. Things are likely to get very heated as full moon in Cancer. And remember, we're pulling a card, so it doesn't matter what time it is, because it'll say if you pulled this card and it's not a full moon in Cancer, this card was meant for you. Okay. And remember, don't force it. Okay. If it feels like it resonates, it resonates. If it maybe feels like it resonates a little bit, put a pin in it and come back to it. Okay. And if it fully resonates, it's for you. All right. So things are likely to get very heated as full moon in Cancer is a super emotional sign. So there could be something of an explosion of feelings around now or surrounding your question. It's important to be sensitive to other people when you pull this card. There are some very fine sensibilities around, so tread carefully as you move towards your goals or dreams. This card indicates an especially feminine time. It also heralds the time to deal with any family issues coming up. Nothing to worry about. It signals a challenge is now coming to an end. Ooh, this might be partially for me. This card also suggests both that a domestic matter or a private issue will soon come to a head, and that it's a great time to move house. I'm moving home. Anyways, the answer to your question lies in being a kind leader. This is the time for you to step up and agree to overcome your insecurities. Attune to the moon. It may be the best to move towards what you want in a sideways matter, like a crab, right? Additional meanings for this card. Meditate to soothe heightened emotions. Don't be clingy. Stop sulking. Have you had enough family time lately? And the teaching. The heightened emotions of the moon-Cancer combination can't be ignored. However, Cancer is one of the moon's 2 home signs, along with Taurus. Look at that. What did I say? It would tie it in. Anyways, I'm feeling validated. So anyways, Cancer is one of the moon's 2 home signs, along with Taurus. So, astrologically speaking, the moon loves to be in this sign. In fact, she rules Cancer. This means that with this card, there's a sense that all is as it should be, or don't worry, all will soon be well. So there you go. Those are your readings for this super new moon week in Taurus. And remember, that will be on Saturday. Okay. And you don't have to wait until 1:01 p.m. on Saturday on Pacific time, or 4:01 p.m. Eastern time, or 9:01, well, actually 9:01 p.m. in the UK, and 10:01 p.m. in Europe. Well, the western part of Europe, that's perfect, because it'll be nighttime. But for the rest of us out here, you don't have to wait until that time, okay? Nobody has to wait until that time. Like I said, tomorrow, the new moon cycle will start. So you have 3 days. You can even do a 3-day ritual, or a 3-day intention setting, or you can pray for 3 days. You can do whatever you want with that time. But, it's just basically saying you have 3 days to set your intention. Saturday will be the heaviest of the time. It'll be the closest. Okay, that will be the closest the new moon will be to the earth. So put your stuff out there. All right, set your intentions. But remember, if you're going to set an intention, we talked about the self-worth card in there. All these cards went together, because if you have any ounce of doubt that any of these things can happen, you're probably not going to manifest it this time around, or you're basically putting a pin in it. Okay, so, as the kids would say, you're putting a pin in it because you're doubting. You have to have faith in what it is that you are asking for. You have to trust that or something better will come to you. And again, I said, I always say that this or something better, because you don't know that what you're asking for specifically is meant for you. If it is meant for you, it will become yours. If it is not meant for you, the right thing will be placed in your path. All right. So, but if you are trying to manifest, I think we had the prosperity card, right? On prosperous times. If you are trying to do that, you have to trust and believe. You can't decide where the money is going to come from, or the abundance, because abundance can be a lot of different things. You can't decide how it's going to come to you. You can't decide where it's going to come to you, how it's going to come to you, from where it's going to come from. You just have to trust that it will happen. And I always say in the divine right way, because I don't want anyone getting hurt for something I want. I don't want it to affect somebody else because this is something I want. All right. And generally, I don't think that's how the universe works. And that might actually trip you up if you're worried about how that's going to happen, so, yeah. So just be careful with that. All right. But believe, trust and believe. So again, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll see you back here, at my dad's house on Tuesday, May 19th. 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Facebook Live. All lives are public under Shelley Marie Lucas. Anybody can watch. I also upload to YouTube, TikTok, and then I spread it from YouTube out to Twitter, Threads, and Blue Sky. So, you can find me there. Like I said, if you're on Instagram, unfortunately, again, I can't figure out how to upload these videos to Instagram because they keep changing how long you can make it, how long you can't make it. So, either way, if you're on Threads via Instagram, you can find it there. Okay. So again, have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Tuesday. Have a wonderful and safe weekend.